Hello YouTube, it's Krow, and here I have the high-grade Build Fighters ZZII. This kit is built and piloted by Minato from Build Fighters Try. This kit is pretty awesome. It was released in 2016 and it came with a price tag of 2,600 yen. I always wanted to get this kit, however, since it came out, around the time I really wasn't interested in building models, I just kind of put this to the side, but I actually found the time and I decided to go ahead and buy the kit and build it. So what do I have to say about this kit? Well, for starters, it's very aesthetically pleasing. Not really much in terms of complexity, I would say, but it does have enough there to really distinguish it from other, type of Zeta-ish suits. So I'm not really seeing this suit as much of a double Zeta type suit. I see it more in terms of just Zeta. So what do I have to say about this kit? Well, there's actually quite a bit to talk about. This kit is kind of a combination of the ZZII as well as the Tryon 3, which the Tryon 3 is kind of stemmed from the double Zeta and has some custom parts. But overall, you really do see a lot of the double Zeta type, kind of parts in this suit, mainly on the shoulders and I would say in the legs, as well as some parts on the backpack. Has a lot of double Zeta-ish type parts. But the core, the core root of this kit actually comes from just the ZZII. I never built the ZZII, but just looking at the imagery and some of the reviews, and maybe even looking at the box from when I was in the hobby store, it looked pretty good. And I would actually like to get that kit, just because of when I built this kit, I noticed it has a lot of great parts. The articulation's pretty good. It doesn't really have too many issues, except for I would say about 3 issues in total. So what kind of equipment does it come with? Well, it has 2 wing shields on its backpack that pretty much are looking like they're from the double Zeta. And we also have a couple of fixed things on it. So it does have a pretty much like a beam cannon on its back, like a center giant cannon, and then on the sides of it are beam bazookas. And it's also going to have 2 nice beam sabers. It has 2 head Vulcans, and then I would say the centerpiece of it all is the hyper long rifle. And the hyper long rifle can also deploy the long beam saber, which it's not really that long, but it's just like the Zeta. The Zeta pretty much has the same type of utility with its own rifle. Now in the show, it actually has a special attack called the Tri-Burst, when all 3 of the cannons pretty much emit its beam energy. Now with this kit, it does come with a lot of stickers. I didn't really use too many. I kind of just used the red because I don't have any primer to actually lay down some white primer and then paint over it. So I just went ahead and used the stickers. Didn't really care too much. And it was the same thing for the yellow stickers. Without primer, the yellow just would be very, very dark, even if I put a lot of thin coats on there. So I just went ahead and omitted that, and I didn't have any white paint as well. So it's fine, but I did paint in the green, the black, and the gray. Now this kit is also going to have 2 other hands, which are kind of like trigger hands. However, there's really no point to them because they don't really, they're not really compatible with the long rifle, and they don't really look right with the beam sabers. So I usually just omit them altogether when it comes to displaying this kit. A solid core piece is what's going to be needed for the actual transformation over to its Wave Rider form. Once the Wave Rider form is complete, then what you're going to be left with is kind of just a, torso, little thighs, and front skirts of the actual double ZZII. And for the rest of the parts will go ahead and be mounted on that core block I've shown you. And this is such a beautiful Wave Rider form. It does come with a little stand piece, so that way it can hold up the entire giant block of a transformation. And to be honest, I really like it in this form. I can see myself really having this just on display as it is. Even though the robot form is probably going to be my most favorite of the two, this form really does have some, nice little aesthetics and, just that overall spaceship kind of vibe. So the only real issues I see with this kit is going to be these like arm connectors. They just fall off very easily. They go in very easily, but it's really hard to like get it to stay in. There's really not much of a snapping point right inside there. Also, these little, wing shields, these things are just very floppy, and this one's kind of decent, but it's kind of hard just to keep them in really, really good poses. Very fixable, but overall, it's kind of a bummer. So, what are some of my overall thoughts on this kit? Well, I can definitely tell you it's a great looking suit. I don't really see much of an issue with it, even with the shortfalls when it comes to the wing binders as well as the hands. This kit is extremely fun to play with. I was just kind of like messing around, doing some different poses, and just trying to get as dynamic of poses as I possibly can. So I would definitely say this is a kit worth getting. If you really love any kind of Zeta-ish type suits, this kit is really there for you, and plus it's a good canvas for you to really test out some different skills with your painting, because it does come with quite a lot of stickers, so you might have to bust out the paints or maybe even the airbrush, just that way you can go ahead and make it stand out just a little bit more. But other than that, guys, that's it. That's my review. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you really enjoyed this video. Well, that's it, guys. I'll see y'all in the next review. Bye.